Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it? All right. Welcome. Come on in. Let me know how the sound is right off the bat so we make sure that you have a quality presentation. Also, let me know if you have any video quality issues as well. So glad to be here. Happy August the 14th, 2024. We have a lot to cover. Get out of the picture. Yeah. We got a lot to cover tonight. Hopefully we'll have a great time. Let me give shout outs to our attendees. We got Joseph Henson in the building. 777. I feel myself getting stronger. Joseph Henson lets us know that the sound check is good. All right, awesome. Thank you very much, Joseph, as usual. Really appreciate you. Looking for more people to come on in. Yeah, so we are talking. BB Productions, did you send me the link? Let me see if I can get the link here. One moment. Come on in. Make sure that you let somebody else know that we are live right now. And share it to your Facebook page. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Even if you're watching this on replay, please do us that solid and hit that thumbs up button. It's going to be an exciting show. Have some new discoveries or more discoveries. All right. How about that? More discoveries. Maybe not new, but more discoveries, more explanation, more understanding, overstanding. And which translates and should translate to greater freedom and maneuverability for you in this system. All right. And not out without the system. We want to be within the system for good cause. And we'll go over that. All right. I know a lot of people are trying to run from it, but I contend that they're falling for the okie doke. And that's, colonization could work several different ways, right? It could be a hostile takeover where their military takes you out, wipes you out, extincts your people, whatever. Or it can be, hey, we need slaves, so let's not extinct them, let's not kill them off, but let's use them. Let's play psychological games on them, right? And we trick them out of their inheritance and out of their estates and out of their lands. You see? What's the saying? You catch more bees with honey, okay? And so, it's not. What good does it do to kill all the hired help, right? That does no good. All right. So come on in. I'll give a few moments to warm up here. Let you come on in. All right. I got my link. Thanks for that. BB Productions. Come on in. Come on in. I don't want you to miss a drop. Make sure you let us know where you're listening from, the state that you are hailing from. It's always fun to see the different states in the union. We're here to bring clarity, to set the captives free through this information, this right knowledge. BB Production says, greetings to the family. Looks and sounds great. Awesome. Thank you. And no problem. All right. Also wanted to say that I really appreciate the participation in the comment section of the videos and things. It's really a morale booster. It makes me feel great when preparing for the show, and even before the show comes on, that I'm getting sent like hearts and 777s even before I get on here. That makes me feel awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you for taking the time to do that, Terry, and Joseph Henson and BB Productions. And I'm looking through my list here. Just want to make sure I show appreciation for your participation, your love, your support. It means everything. All right. Okay, so the topic tonight is death of the natural, and we're talking the artificial evolution. All right, death of the natural and the artificial evolution. All right. If you paid attention to the video I did earlier today, kind of a precursor to this event here, I went in on explaining artificial. In that, a lot of times we have the tendency to think of fictional or fiction. It's not one and the same. Okay. The courts, the legal system, what have you, will acknowledge the artificial. But when you say that something is fictional, they will not acknowledge that, because the system, the artifice, the persons of law, legal personalities, personas, they exist. Therefore, that's why they're called entities. Entities means a thing in existence, right? So fictional, however, is not a thing in existence. So I just want to bring clarity to that. It's not fictional, it's artificial. And artificial connotes man-made, right? So the opposite of artificial would be natural. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So Wanda Noel, thank you for being here. So good to see you back. Thank you for being here. Let's see. So Joseph Henson is hailing from Maryland. All right. BB Production reminds us, don't forget to drop a like and share when you come on in, and a follow if you aren't already. Appreciate that. Please. BB Productions hailing from Wisconsin. All right. We got our little family here. I think we're missing one or two or three others. Hopefully they'll find their way in. Wanda 777. I feel myself getting stronger. All right. All right, we got 8 watching, 5 thumbs up. Joseph Henson, I have some comments to leave on last video regarding the ever-expanding corporation. All right. I can't wait. Yeah, where's Terry? Maybe if we say her name like 3 times, she'll appear. She's got to be coming. She's got to be coming. She sent a message of love earlier in some 777s. She's got to be coming. Terry, where are you? Hopefully she'll be coming in shortly here. All right, Joseph, you said you have some comments to leave on last video. Oh, go for it. If you want to come on, feel free. I can put the link in the comment section. All right. I'll put the link in the comment section if you so choose. Otherwise, yeah, you could put it in the comment section if you don't want to join on the live, but I'll put the comment or the link there. It's in the comment section. It looks a lot like that. But it's in the comment section there. If you follow that link, it'll put you in a back room, and then I have to let you up. Okay, you'll just post them later? Okay, no problem. No problem. All right. Yeah, please, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, if you have anything adverse to something that you've heard on a video, a live, whatever, please feel free. I love the dialogue, debates, whatever. It's the best way for us to really grow. I mean, we shouldn't be afraid of that. I'm not afraid of confrontations or anything like that. As long as it's towards growth, I don't want to argue where it's just we're just having a shouting match and nobody's learning anything. I'd rather have a debate. Okay, Wanda Noel's hailing from Maryland. Huh? Joseph Henson. Oh, okay. Yep. I remember now. I remember now. All right. Welcome, Wanda. Thank you for being here. All right. So, death of the natural. Artificial evolution. All right. So before I get going on that, we haven't had much participation in the way of people expressing their interest in the courses, the classes that we're going to be offering. I pretty much assume and presume that our little family here of roughly 8 or so people will be partaking in that. So, I mean, y'all gotta let me know. I know that I think Terry and Joseph, I know at least you two hit me up on the KnowledgeWell email. But let me just say that you laughing, Joseph.
I know who Wanda is now. I remember. You sent me some beautiful pictures and everything. Okay, I remember. My bad. So let me just state that this content, remember, it's all backed factually, right? I don't just conjecture when I'm laying down a claim or an assertion. I back it up. Okay. So with that being said, there's a lot of moves that we're going to be able to make, and we're even, my estate, my trust, and everything like that. We're making moves currently, and we're just last night was working on some contractual documents that work in between the entities of involving my estate and my trust and everything like that. We're going to be applying the things. It's not just enough to just sit here and learn about it. Now, I can't give you legal advice or anything like that, but I can provide an education in such a way where we can discuss certain actions and things like that. Because let me tell you something. People like Trump and all them, what you see when the camera is on is completely different from what is actually going on when the camera's off. You do realize that, right? Okay, so they're business people and they're actors. That's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. Okay, they're business people and they're actors. What happens when the camera's off? You wouldn't even. They would act as if you posed a question to them about something they said or the way that they were acting when the camera was on. Like, I watched you on TV and you were saying this and doing this. They would look at you like I'm a politician, like I'm acting, like I'm on the clock. When you see me on the TV, I'm performing. You see, and I think a lot of times we don't think about that. Okay. The world is literally a stage. We are all acting in capacities. We are all acting in personas. Do you think that Trump is the vice president or president when he's in his leisure time? No. That's just the hat that he's wearing at the particular point in time. It's just that you only see him on TV. You never see him walking up and down the boulevard. So you don't know what he's like. Remember that. When the lights and the camera are on, they're just acting, literally acting. They all have capacities. A president is a legal capacity. And so what do we say? If you saw one of them, one of the politicians or Trump walking down the street, you say, "Hey, Mr. President," as if that's really who he is. That's a legal capacity. What do you mean, Mr. President? Little acting, Hollywood, actors. That's all it is. Okay. And so what my point is that you are supposed to be doing the same thing. You're supposed to be acting. Okay. And you might not win an Oscar or an Emmy Award or an Oscar, but your win will show through your success in maneuvering this system, right? It's all digits. It's all fiction. Artificial. That's all it is. It's fiat currency. It's all contrived. It's legal constructs. That's all it is. All right. So this is why I am passionate about what it is that we are doing. If you take this American jurisprudence and this system serious, or it will seriously take you. I often say, right? If you take it too serious, it will seriously take you. And a lot of us have been taken. That's why we're here, right? Because we know we're being taken and we're tired of it. We're not gonna take it. No. All right. It's gonna be a goofy one tonight, right? Long day at work. Work was rough today. Work was rough. Well, we made it through it, and we're here tonight. And I'm so glad that you're here with us. Joseph Henson has a comment. So former president is correct legal title. Right. So for Trump, it would be former president. Or wasn't there another one, though? I thought there was another one. Former president. Okay. So anyways, you get the point. So we gotta start playing this game effectively, efficiently, proficiently, right? We got to start winning. We got to start winning. And so we know that we have at least one major way of doing it. All right. We're just saying. So that information, though, we're not going to necessarily put out in the public. So that's why we're inviting people to take part in our courses and our Patreon and whatever. So I'm going to really start hitting the ground running on that. I would say probably starting after this weekend. So the next week will probably be spent on getting that all set up and starting to speak on that. I wanted to start speaking on remedy tonight. We'll see where we go. All right. But tonight, the main title will be Death of the Natural and the Artificial Evolution. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started on that. Hopefully we'll get more participation. I want everybody on this arc. Okay. Because obviously it's going to rain, right? You know, it's going to rain. I mean, even if you say, well, it's never rained before, like in the legend of Noah's Ark, right? It's never rained before, you fool. You're building this huge old ark and it's never even rained before. What is rain? But, as the legend goes, it ended up raining. Well, can't you see the signs of the times? Something's brewing. It's going to be big. They have to, because why? They have to take down the old system. That's really what it's all about, y'all. They have to take down the old system in order to institute the new system. And so many people are holding back the progress in the introduction of the new system, and the powers that be or powers that were are just chomping at the bit and they're becoming impatient. Like these people, God, why won't they let the old system go? There's going to be so much better on the other side. We're going to be so much further ahead and so much more advanced. That's all that's happening. So, later for that, we'll talk more on that later. Joseph Henson says ready to sign the non-disclosure statement yesterday. All right. So, and you know what, Joseph, it may just be that we just take who we have and we go. And as y'all start getting y'all successes and all that kind of thing, and you start to administer your estates and manage your trust and all that kind of stuff in the proper way, not all this pie in the sky, rainbows and unicorns, I think the saying is, you could tap into a Treasury Direct account. No, it's not that. It's not that. It's doing exactly. Why would you reinvent the wheel? Why? If Trump can do it, if the Clintons can do it, if all the other elitists can do it, then so can you. Because guess what? They are participating in the instrumentalities that are afforded you just like everybody else. Trust is usually one of the top corporations, right? Why? Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. So hold on tight. All right. Joseph Henson says 2040 and 2046 celestial events will lead to resets. I have no argument against that. I think a reset is coming much sooner. I'm cautious about making predictions, but I'm pretty good at them. Okay. Later for that too. Yeah. Later for that. Let's get to talking here. Let's get to going. All right. So thanks for the warm up though. Appreciate that. Where is Terry? Where in the world is Terry? Where's she at? Hope she's okay. All right. So death of the natural. Okay. So we're going to start, and I know this is redundant. I know it is, but it bears repeating. Trust me. We're going to go to Blackstone. He is my foundation. Okay. He is my foundation. I feel like I stumbled upon a treasure map, and this man is going to take us all the way home. Okay. We all the way home. All right. Joseph says that is why all the billionaires are building deep underground shelters and renovating all the deep former places. That may be. I do know that a lot of times they get us to look over here so that we miss what's right in our face. So I can get into some conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff with you as well. I enjoy that. I have no problem doing that as long as we keep that, What we are focusing on right now is building our estates properly so that we can operate in this system, not to try to run from it, try to claim to be foreign to it and all that. That does you no good, because you are basically walking away from your estates. You're walking away from the legacies that your forefathers and foremothers left for you. And that's all that, if I was trying to colonize, right, that's what I would want you to do. I'd want you to forfeit all of your estates and assets, and then I would rake in and get it all. Make sense? That's easy. So I don't got to fire a bomb at you. I ain't got to shoot a single shot. All I got to do is convince you that that's worthless, like gold and silver, like they did when they got everybody to come and trade in their gold and their silver dollars in exchange for what? Fiat currency. How's that working out for you now? Lost over 98% of its value. You feel that the pinch of that inflated economy? Okay. So we did it once, or maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Let's not keep doing it. Let's learn something. All right. Let's learn something. And so that's what we're setting you up with, or for here at KnowledgeWell Media. We want to teach you how to properly administer and manage your estates to keep the wealth, retain the wealth, right? All right, we'll get into that. Okay, so let's get to it. What an introduction, I guess. All right, let's get to it. We're going to the Avalon Project, discussing the commentaries on the laws of England by one William Blackstone. Okay, hold on. All right. All right, so let's go in. Let's do this review. All right, and this is chapter the 18th, talking about the rights of persons and corporations. All right, so in review, I'm not going to read it over. I've done this multiple times. You can go back and watch all of the episodes that we have done, probably 6 or 7 of them. But basically, in a nutshell, William Blackstone is explaining the need for artificial persons, why they're needed, okay? Because when humans die, their rights die with them, and therefore their assets, everything dies. You're right. Okay, and so what they said is, we have figured out here on the second part of the paragraph here, that we've figured out how to keep rights on foot even when you perish, when you die, when you transition. And so we created these artificial, not fictional, artificial persons who may maintain a perpetual succession, so that you can hand down something to your children, and your children can hand down something to their children, and so on and so forth, for eternity, as it were. And right here, and this artificial person will help you to enjoy a kind of legal immortality, right? Because it's a corporation or an artificial person, therefore it can live forever. It does not need to eat like we eat, per se. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so fast forwarding, because we got to get to the thick of it. Okay, so it says these artificial persons are called bodies politics, which also a state is known as a bodies politic. So that is a form of a corporate body or bodies politic, right? Or corporation. You know about the corporation for purposes of trade and commerce, right? All right, so these are all bodies politics, including, again, the state. All right. Let's see. So here's where we're going to pick up. Okay, because as I mentioned in the video earlier, William Blackstone goes in on the advantages now. The advantages of the artificial persons. Don't you want to know this? All right. Again, the title, Death of the Natural, Artificial Evolution. Okay, so let us consider the case of a college in either of our universities. Founded, okay, I always have problems with that. Whatever. I'm not even going to try. It's Latin. Okay. for the encouragement and support of religion and learning. Okay, if this was a mere, this is the kicker. This is the kicker. If this was a mere voluntary assembly, so we could say the opposite or the adverse, right? A college is a type of body politic or corporation where it's not really voluntary. Once you join, you're considered a member, and therefore you must follow the policies, the rules, the statutes, if you will, of the college, right? If you want to teach here, you're going to come under the authority, the rulership of the dean and the upper echelon or whatever of the college, right? The establishment, the founders, whatever you want to. Okay, so it's not voluntary once you become a member of this, once you become part of this. So the individuals, so if this was a mere voluntary assembly, it says, goodness gracious. If this was a mere voluntary assembly, the individuals which compose it, compose what? Which compose the college, okay? Might indeed read, pray, study, and perform scholastic exercises together. In other words, we don't know for sure. We can't say for certain if everybody will work together. If this was not a corporation or an artificial person, the college, right? We don't know if we can get everybody to acclimate to the program. We need this not to be voluntary because we don't know if everybody will work together. Okay? It says, so long as they could agree to do so. So if we just left it up to them, maybe they would agree to work together in sync. Here, but listen, but they could neither frame nor receive any laws or rules of their conduct. And we're familiar with that term conduct from the positive law discussion. Conduct is the behavior, right? So it's saying without the corporation, right? Without that artificial person and its rules and bylaws and what have you and statutes, you can't frame any laws or rules of the conduct of the individual, of the members of the college. You can't do it. Let's read on. None, at least, which would have any binding force. None of the law. You can't make any laws that have binding force on people that are not considered members. They're not signed by contract to join you as a member, as a citizen. You can't put any enact any laws or rules that would have binding force upon them. Because why? For want of a coercive power to create a sufficient obligation. What does that mean? In other words, we don't have anything with teeth that would create an obligation upon them because they're not a member. They're not a member. They're not a citizen. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Okay? Neither could they be capable of retaining any privileges or immunities. For if you recall that, right? Privileges and immunities, the 14th Amendment. That's what that is. So we know where we're at. Terry's in the building. We were worried about you, Terry. Where you been? 777. I'm getting stronger. Now that Terry's in the building. All right. There's Terry. Welcome. We were all asking about you. All right, let's get back. Good to see you, Terry. So neither could they be capable of retaining any privileges or immunities, just like the 14th Amendment. When you become a citizen of the United States, then you inherit privileges and immunities. For if such privileges be attacked, which of all of this unconnected assembly, this is talking about the unincorporated, not the corporation. They're giving a demonstration of, remember, the advantages of incorporation. Okay. So it says, which of all of this unconnected assembly has the right or ability to defend them? Nobody has any delegation of authority. No one has any capacity to act in, because it's not incorporated. It's not a corporation, is what he's saying. Listen to this. And when they are dispersed by death, those rights, or otherwise, how shall they transfer these advantages to another set of students? Talking from the context of the college. In other words, when you die, right, no one else has the right to inherit, because you're not joined together, as I used in the example earlier, of a family. That's why you can hand things down, because your family has the last name, right? If you're a Smith, you're a Smith, and your son's a Smith, and your daughter's a Smith, and your wife's a Smith, and so on and so forth. And you came from the Smith. So that's how, through that legal name, right? That family name, that legal name, that's how you can inherit, okay, upon death. So let me see here. So also with regard to holding estates of other property, if land be granted for the purposes of religion or learning to 20 individuals not incorporated, listen, there is no legal way of continuing the property to any other persons for the same purposes. Look at the key here. There is no legal way. There's no legal way. Meaning the courts, how are the courts going to make a decision about who is to inherit what without artificial persons? These are all the advantages William Blackstone is setting out of corporations, artificial persons. Okay, again, the topic is the death of the natural and the artificial evolution. Okay, let me read a little bit more. There is no legal way of continuing the property to any other persons for the same purposes, but by endless conveyances from one to the other, as often as the hands are changed. But when they are consolidated, now we're on the other side. I love how Blackstone throughout these commentaries does that, makes the distinctions. In the contrast, he contrasts. Now we're going to be talking about, but when it comes to a corporation, okay, those advantages. So, but when they are consolidated and united into a corporation, they and their successors are then considered as one person in law. As one person, they have one will, which is collected from the sense of the majority of the individuals. See, in your state, as a member of the political community, as a citizen in that state, subject, right, to the authority of that state, this is how the law sees you. As you are one with the state. And there is one will, which is collected from the sense of the majority of the individuals. So what the majority say or want is what's going to go. The democratic process, you heard of that? Now, this one will may establish rules and orders for the regulation of the whole. What? Did you hear that? Listen. whatever that one will is of the people, the majority of the individuals, right, who have made themselves members, who have come together collectively, who have united, consolidated into a corporation or a body politic or a state or jural society. It says this one will that they have decided, right, may establish rules and orders for the regulation of the whole. Them are those statutes. I'm just giving you how it's looked at, how it's created. Remember, this is 1765-ish. The United States is not yet born. Yet the founding fathers are looking at this commentary by William Blackstone and saying, might we create one of these? That's what's happening. I showed you in the other episodes how they credit William Blackstone as essentially being the father. I mean, we can essentially say, and it even says that the Supreme Court even today still refers to this as precedent. Remember, it listed all the founding fathers, including it even listed Abraham Lincoln, saying that they are all influenced. Jonathan Adams, remember I listed all of those? They all look to this document here. So our founding fathers were like, I think we could put one of these together. That's what okay. Look. This one will may establish. So whatever the majority of the people had decided, okay, that's how they frame those rules and orders. You know, federal law or constitutional law or whatever. Okay, based on what the majority of the people had found important or whatever. And those rules then regulate the whole. All right, so going on. In these rules, the aforementioned rules, which are, they're a sort of municipal laws of this little republic. Huh? That's what a republic is. Right there. Majority of the individuals with one will, and the majority speaks and says, this is what we want. And they frame those laws around that. That is the republic, the little republic. Okay. Or here's another option, or here's the kicker. This you got to get, because this one should hit home. Or rules and statutes may be prescribed to it. What is it? The little republic, the corporation. Remember, it said up here, but when they are consolidated and united into a corporation. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. That's the context. Now watch this. Or rules and statutes may be prescribed to the little corporation at its creation, which are then in the place of natural law. Again, the topic is the death of the natural and artificial evolution. Because this is the father here. This is William Blackstone basically writing the book on it, explaining these artificial persons, these corporations, why they were made, why we need to make them. And then he had the nerve to reveal and divulge what you just heard. That if you create rules and statutes and prescribe them to the corporation, okay? I thought it said at the beginning, but okay. Yeah, at its creation. Okay. Those then replace natural laws, meaning, how should I put it? Let's say that we know that the Constitution was 1789, right? So do you not know that everybody that comes in after that, it is assumed and presumed that they agree to the rules and statutes of the corporation? Are you picking up what I just put down? Because the laws, the statutes were already codified, already written in stone, already created, prescribed at the creation of the United States, 1789. So that being the case, then if you come in anytime after 1789 and guess what? Become a member of that corporation or that body politic, you're grandfathered in. You didn't have any say in the rules, in the laws, in the statutes. So it's presumed that you just come in accepting what the founding fathers have already written up and made and enacted into law. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's a presumption. I'm not saying it. William Blackstone, the father of it all, is saying it. Your natural laws go bye-bye when you join something that already existed and already has statutes and rules prescribed to it from its inception, from its beginning. Your natural laws are gone. Bye-bye. Again, we are talking about the death of the natural and the artificial evolution. This is where it starts for the United States, at least. It goes way back prior to the United States, prior to England and into the Roman law, but later for that. This is not new, y'all. Oh, you don't believe me? I like when you say that. Watch this. Let's keep going. The privileges and immunities, listen, the estates and the possessions of the corporation, when once vested in them, will be forever vested, without any new conveyance to new successions, for all the individual members that have existed from the foundation to the present time, or that shall ever hereafter exist, are but one person in law, a person that never dies, eternal life. And okay, so that's a whole lot to swallow. We must chew on that. We must chew on that. That's a whole lot to swallow. Listen, let's back up. We're talking about in the event that the corporation or a body politic, artificial person has rules and statutes prescribed to it at its creation. Okay? In that instance, the individuals who are humans that make up that are members of that, like you and I of the state are humans, right? But it is a legal order. It's saying that this has nothing to do with your natural law rights here. You sacrifice those on the altar of legality of the American jurisprudence, on the altar. You shed those, and now you come into this legal order, all right? And you are agreeing to follow those rules and statutes that existed since the creation of this entity. Moving forward, look at the list here. The privileges and immunities, the estates and possessions of the corporation when once vested in them, will be forever vested. The privileges and immunities, the estates and possessions of the corporation. So this is the belongings. This is the property of the corporation. When once vested in them, will be forever vested. So to all of the pirates, I'll say, out there claiming that there's this Treasury direct account, they can cash in the birth certificate, do all these things. Look what William Blackstone just said. The privileges and immunities, the estates and the possessions of the corporation, when once vested in them, will be forever vested. Listen, without any new conveyance to new successions. Why? For all the individual members that have existed from the foundation to the present, or that shall ever hereafter exist, are but one person in law. You are no longer individual. The law does not see you that way. And so if you join this club, anything that you vested or put into this club will be forever the club's. You ain't stripping nothing from here, is what they're saying. Just because you decide you don't want to play or whatever anymore, so be it. You ain't taking nothing from here. You can bring things in, but you ain't taking nothing. Okay? This person, because why? You're looked at as your membership to this corporation, all right, is looked at, you are but one person in law, and that person never dies. Fret not, I'm going to give you hope in light of what you're seeing. I'll give you a little hope, because the game, you have to know how to play the game is the point. Okay. I'm not trying to fearmonger you, scare you, and strip you of hope and all. But you have to know this. This is very vital and very important. And a lot of people, 90-something% of the people out there don't know this. They should have been here. Then they would have known. But I digress. All right. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to. And then it's going to go into the right of persons. We'll cover that on the next one. But let me go into a little explanation. Okay. Lest ye lose hope. I think we're just okay. So let me just talk to you. Let's just talk for a minute. All right. So remember that the context here is the jural society, right? AKA a state, a political community, a body politic, all of that suggesting an artificial person. All right. You are human. I hope you're human. You are human. All right. And so what that means is, obviously there is a distinction. Obviously there's a distinction. We know that. And we also know that the House of Representatives acknowledges that. Okay. And for the sake of those who have not seen, let me put it up for you and just their acknowledgement. Okay. Natural law is distinguishable from positive law. Positive law are enactments of a duly authorized legislature, aka statutes. Okay. And we determined what statutes here. So here we go. In general, the term positive law connotes statutes, means statutes, or suggests statutes. Come on, don't do this. All right. That is to say, law that has been enacted by a duly authorized legislature. That's the body of government that makes the laws, obviously, right? All right. So as used in this sense, what sense? In the sense that positive law means statutes, in the sense that this is law that has been enacted by a body, a governing body of men, okay, acting in a particular capacity as the legislatures, right? They're acting. They're wearing a mask of state or something to that effect, right? They're wearing a mask when they're done working at the Capitol or having their discussions in the Capitol or whatever they do, making laws, whatever. When they're done with that, they go home and eat just like you do. They take off their suits, put in their pajamas, do all the things that you do. Okay. In the private, they are one thing. In their official capacity, they're a completely different thing. Okay. And so in that sense, as used in that sense, positive law is distinguishable. You can see the difference is what it's saying between positive law and natural law. Okay. That's all it's saying. The term natural law, especially as used generally in legal philosophy, refers to a set of universal principles and rules that properly govern moral human conduct. All right. What is the takeaway? The takeaway is that positive law and natural law are distinguishable from each other. And why are they distinguishable from each other? Because natural law does this right here, properly governs moral human conduct, whereas positive law does not. Hence, distinguishable. You should know the difference. You can distinguish the two. Okay, so then the question goes to, what does positive law govern? If natural law governs moral human conduct or behavior, then what does positive law govern? And we determined, if you go back in the archive, back a few videos, we determined as per Black's Law dictionaries and other reputable sites, that positive law governs juristic persons. Okay, and juristic persons, aka artificial persons, are persons that are sanctioned and recognized by positive law. So kind of circular. But what you need to take away from that is a juristic person is not a human person. Jural person. Let's see. See if I can pull that up for you real quick. This is what positive law governs over. This is what they won't tell you. You're just not going to know it. Let's see if I can find it here. This is what they're not going to tell you this. Here, we'll do this. I'll get you yet. Let's do this. Okay, so here you go. Washington University Open Scholarship. Okay, a legal personality, a jural person. Here, let me get a better one. Come on. Give me something. You're going to make me dig? Don't make me dig. Come on. I just wanted a basic. Okay. All right. Oh, boy. Legal definition of, let's see if that helps me out here. Oh, they're playing with me tonight. Just give me a basic. I just want to show the people. Let's see. Case law and legal history. Define a jural person is, oh boy. You guys saw me do this before. It'd be like this though. Hold on. Bear with me. Let's try juristic. Okay. Okay, so you can clearly see right here, so we can move on. The term juristic person includes a firm, corporation, union, association, or other organization capable of being sued, capable of suing and being sued in a court of law. That's a jural person. You can see the JUR. It's the same thing. Jural, juristic. Entity as a firm that is not a single natural person. So again, the House of Representatives over here discussing positive law makes the distinction between natural law and positive law. And it says that natural law properly governs moral human conduct or behavior, and it is distinguished from positive law. What does positive law govern? Positive law are statutes. Okay. Let's see. Enacted by duly authorized legislature. And it's going to make me go, okay, wait a minute. Let's see here. I guess we're doing a study tonight. I guess. That's all right. We can let our hair down a little bit. Y'all don't mind, do y'all? Let our hair down a little bit. Sundays are official. Hold on. There we go. All right. Just to show you positive law, link that together for you. So we're at the definition, the legal definition of jural right here. Jural. This is at Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition. So pertaining to natural or positive right, or to the doctrines of rights and obligations, that's citizenship, right? You take citizenship, you inherit civil rights, civil and political rights, and also you have duties, obligations as a citizen. So as jural relations of or pertaining to jurisprudence, here's that word, juristic. Remember, we just looked up juristic person. Okay, because we want to know what positive law governs. We know it's not humans or human conduct or human behavior. So what does it govern? Okay, so juridical, here it is. Look, recognized or sanctioned by positive law. What is juridical? Okay, recognized or sanctioned by positive law. Okay, so we just looked here at the House of Representatives definition of positive law, and they said once again that it is distinguishable from natural law, and why is it distinguishable? Because natural law solely governs moral human conduct. Okay, but when you're talking about the jural sphere, positive law and statutes in the legislature and their enactments, you're over here. See, juridical. You're over here where things are recognized or sanctioned by positive law. What things are recognized or sanctioned by positive law? Juristic type personalities or persons. See it right here? Juridical. That's why. Okay. Also, the state is known as a jural society or state or organized political community. So this is all in the not fictional. This is in the artificial realm. A juristic person, look, entity as a firm that is not a single natural person. See, it's something opposite. That's how we know that positive law is distinguishable from natural law, because it said that natural law governs human, right? Okay. This one doesn't. This one governs firms and persons that are not natural, like a human being. You see that? Okay, we can get back then. Okay, so the Avalon Project, back to it. Or where were we at? No, I was explaining. Okay, let me explain. Okay, so fret not, because you are human. You are outside of the sphere. There's a jural sphere and a moral sphere. Okay, you are outside of the jural sphere. You are in what's known as the moral sphere under natural law, as it's stated, right? Properly governs moral human conduct, the natural law under the moral sphere. Okay, God's law, moral law, that's where humans reside. Okay, and so with that being said, we have to come to a conclusion. Again, we are discussing the death of the natural and the artificial evolution. We have to firstly know who we are, okay? Because we've lost ourselves somewhere along the lines, okay? Now, this is to the benefit of those who know and to the detriment of those who are ignorant to this fact. Okay. All right. So how do we do this? You know what? Let's try the whiteboard. I don't know if my mic is going to work, but I do need to draw this out. Okay. I do need to draw this out. Let's test it out. Please bear with me if there's a problem with it. Bear with me. Let's see if I can get to the whiteboard here. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's not the live picture. What is going on? Hold on. What is going on with that picture? I wanted to get to the whiteboard here. Hold on. Stay right where you are. Stay right where you are. We'll be right back, okay? Stay right where you are. We'll see if we can get
Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site.
I don't know. We're trying to get it here. Let me see. Tell me how this is here. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? So
What is it?
what is it?
Turn down your OBS feed. So I'm thinking that's going to be
This is
your-
obvious.
This is OBS here.
on your board.
I don't have. What do you mean?
This is.
OBS is feeding back into your board.
Is it doing it right now?
Is it doing it right now?
Yes, double. So turn off line 1. Turn off mic 1.
There's no mic.
There's no microphone.
Hold on.
Hold on. Stay right with us. Hold on.
But we have to stay.
Here are a few other
You have to what?
You have to stay live.
I have the main monitor.
I have the main monitor.
Turn monitor off.
How's that?
How's that? Testing 1, 2, 2.
Don't we have to be on the
Don't we have to be on the scene?
Well, yeah, it has to.
Well, yeah, it has to transition in order to show up here.
All
All right, let's see.
There.
Oh, there. What? Not that.
So yeah, I got two mics.
Yeah, I got 2 mics here. That's where it's at.
It's coming from your board.
No, I can turn.
No, I can turn the monitor off. Testing 1, 2. Testing. I can turn one of these off.
See, it's monitor.
It's monitor only here and monitor off.
Okay. Turn
What?
Turn it monitor off.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Is that it?
Okay, top one.
Testing. All right, never mind. We'll worry about this later.
No, you're good.
What?
You're good now.
Testing 1, 2. All right. So everybody, no, I have that mic going
Yeah.
too. All right.
That's all it's hearing.
Okay.
We have it programmed in this.
All right. Let's do this real quick. Sorry about that. I don't have an earpiece to monitor the sound, so I can't hear what's going on. But I did want to draw this out for you. Can you hear me good? Hopefully you can hear me good. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me good. And now we'll do this, do a little teaching session here. Appreciate your patience. All right. So as long as I'm not nice and clear, hopefully I'm not too loud. All right. So back in the day when we were young, I'm not a kid anymore. All right. I used to draw this, and I call this the line of demarcation. Okay. I call this a line of demarcation. First of all, we have to know who we are. Okay. That's very important. All right. So we have the natural over here, and we have the artificial, not fictional, artificial over here. Okay. And again, the line of demarcation, you know, the cross, whatever. Now, on the natural side, you're going to have, you know, the human, and everything on this side is going to be the opposite, obviously, right? So human over here, you have, you know, legal persons. Excuse me. Legal artificial persons, corporations, all that's on this side. State, we know that's an artificial, you know, again, everything natural is over here. So we know we're over here and we're supposed to stay over here. I used to give the demonstration of, remember the word, I think I talked about this last time, trans. What does trans means? It means to go across. Okay. Trans in either direction. So when you cross over, when humans cross over into the artificial realm, okay, this is known as a transgression. A transgression. That's what that's known as. Okay. You'll see this in the Bible. You see the Bible talking about transgression, that Jesus died for, you know, for the transgressions. So also, this is also known as a trespass. A trespass. Okay. A human trespasses over into the artificial realm. That is a transgression, aka it's a breach. You know, it's a breach of the moral law. I'm just trying to get you a better understanding, a deeper understanding, you know, so that we can move forward in application of remedy and what have you, so you have a good understanding of what's going on. The Bible's talking about this the whole time. The Bible's talking about this the whole time. And literally, this is all it's talking about. I assure you of that. It's a breach of the moral law. Okay, when you break the moral law, what's the moral law say? That apples stay on the apple tree, that oranges stay on the orange tree, that every kind after every animal after its own kind, every human after his own kind, etc., etc. That is the moral law, the natural law. When you breach that, it is a transgression. It is a trespass against the natural law, aka natural order, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And when you do that, you commit a sin. What is sin? Sin is a breach of the moral law. It is a trespass. It is a transgression. And the wages of sin, the scripture said, oh, shoot. Yeah. The wages of sin is death. And death, back in the day, was a type of death. Was debt. Debt and vice versa, right? Debt is a type of death, and death is a type of debt. Okay, so the wages of your trespass, when the human goes off into the artificial realm, the wages of that is debt. And that's why you feel the sting of things like taxes. Okay, I'm gonna get more into that. Again, we're talking about the death of the natural and the artificial evolution. This is the transhumanist movement. This is where they're forcing us into. Little do we realize it. Realize with real eyes. Little do we realize that this is what they're forcing you into. They're not making it well known, right? You're just going along. Every 10 years, the speed limit changes, new regulations, new rules. You just don't know it, but they're funneling us into this. the whole Al Gore, global warming, all of that. It's all funneling us into this transhumanist movement where basically it's doing away with humanity, you know, with the poke and all that kind of stuff, you know, injecting you, changing your DNA, mutating your DNA. You know, soon you won't be recognizable as a human in the eyes of the law, because the American jurisprudence, the legal system, is all by itself over here. It's not taking into consideration the things of natural law, which affect you humanly. That's why what we just read there by William Blackstone in his commentaries, he says that when you become a member of a corporation or body politic that already has statutes and rules, when you become a member of that, your natural law considerations go bye-bye. You are no, that's not the consideration. We have sucked you into the artificial realm. If you recall and remember, I used the analogy also of Freddy Krueger. Remember Nightmare on Elm Street? Remember, as long as you stayed woke, right? Freddy Krueger couldn't get you. When can he get you? When you fell asleep, and you ended up in the underworld or in the dream state. You like that? When you fell asleep and ended up in the dream state, then Freddy Krueger could get you, because what is Freddy Krueger? Artificial legal person. Your imagination. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So that's really the game. Now you just have to know who you are. Now let me show you how this game works. Okay? Let me show you how this game works. How it should work. We're trying not to give away too much. But we got class. This is the type of class that I'm talking about. Joseph Smith says, Joseph Smith 1, 2, 3, where you been? Where you been? We forgot about Joseph too. We were looking for Terry. We found her. We got to go get Joseph. Hey, Joseph. Thanks for being here, man. Okay? 777. Thank you. So, in knowing who you are. Okay, I'm going to do a demonstration one of these days. I'm going to put on a skit so that you can really see what is really happening. But I'll try to draw it out as best I can. All right, so here's oh God. Okay. Here's your face, right? I know. Just chill out. Here's your face, okay? It's your face. and so this is the human, right? Human. Now, what happens is we take on citizenship. Maybe I should step to this side. We take on citizenship into the state, and we are given a legal name. Okay, and that legal name is actually the persona that fits on our face, on our human face. I know. That becomes a type of mask. Remember, the term persona is Latin for mask. Okay, you can fact check me on that. So when you take on that legal name, it molds to your face, your human face. Okay. Now, when the two of these merge, it's known as a citizen. Remember, we looked up what type of person did it say that positive law governs over? A citizen, a juristic person. All of these denote and connote this joinder.
put a plus sign right there. The human plus the legal name equals a citizen equals a juristic person. This is what positive law governs over. The merger of these two. The scripture says, hold on. Let me find that scripture real quick. I'm telling you, this is all in the Bible, y'all. This is all it's been saying the whole time. Let me see if I can do this. Watch, I'm gonna show you. Let's see. Where it talked about joining it, when you join with oh man, it's been a long day. I'm tired, y'all. Being honest. You know the scripture, the scripture that talks about joining with, I know it says joining with a harlot, that's one. But basically, let me get back. Basically, I'll think of it. It'll come to me. Basically, this is what is happening to create that juristic person, that citizen, okay, is that your human self is putting on a mask. The mask is the legal name. How do we know that that's the mask? Because what are the characteristics of this legal name? Let's see if anybody remembers. Okay, when we went to the Social Security Administration website, what did they say about the legal name? Okay, it consists of the first and last name. Yes, correct. Also, though, it says that it's used to sign what? Legal documents, deeds, or contracts. Remember that? Okay. So, in other words, this gives you a capacity. I'm going to put a hyphen there on purpose. Capacity. Okay? Or cap a city. Cap a city. But anyways, so I'm more leaning towards this here, the cap, because a capacity, you could think of it like this. I could put on a red hat. I could take that red hat off. I could put on a blue hat. I can put on a Freddy Krueger mask. I could take that off and put on a different mask. You see, I can switch them. They're interchangeable. I can switch them depending on the role I want to play. You ever acted before? You ever had to get into costume? Okay, that's what's going on here. That's why it's called a capacity. You wear it. The different caps that we wear, we could take one off, put one on. Okay, I could be a police officer. I can take that off and put on a fireman hat. That's how capacities work. And that's what you're doing as a human being when you join as a citizen. Okay, now you could be a citizen. Now you could be different types of citizens, right? As a citizen, you could be a police officer. As a citizen, you could be a firefighter. As a citizen, you could be a doctor in the same state as a citizen, right? That's how capacities work. So the legal name is also a capacity. Why do we know that? Because it gives, capacity means the ability to do something, okay? The ability or power to do something. And so what power or ability does the legal name afford you? To sign legal documents. See, we're in the legal order. Remember that depiction I just gave you of the cross? Remember the natural side and then the legal side. Everything that has the term legal attached to it shows you which side of the game you are on. You just have to know and recognize that and look for that so that you make sure you stay where you're supposed to be at. If you're not wearing that mask, that means you are on the natural side, and you are more than likely in the private. You hear people talk about private and public. That's what they're talking about. If you don't have a mask on, then you're simply, you go out to eat, whatever, while you're out in the public on the town, you have your makeup on, ladies, you have your makeup on, right? You got your vest on. But when you come home, you kick those high heels off at the door, you take off your nice clothes,
and then you remove the mask, right? That's one of the last things, I think. I don't know. And then you go to bed, right? Okay. Because you're in the private. You're in the secret place. You're home. You're in the private. This is the same way this works. Okay. You only put your mask on, your capacity on when you're going into the public, and now you act on the world stage. Every freaking body is an actor and an actress. You know it. We all put on a show everywhere we go. That rhymes. We all put on a show wherever we go. I'm putting on a show right now. Right? As soon as these lights go off, as soon as the camera cuts off, I'm gonna be like this, because I've been working all day and now I'm still exerting, and everything, and I'm tired and I'm gonna be ready to go to sleep. I'm not gonna be acting like I'm acting right now. See, we all do this. It's just it's the condition. We grew up in this artificial legal realm where we always got to be putting on a show for somebody. I mean, it is what it is. That's just the truth. All right. So and so again, we're wearing a mask. The human plus the mask equals the citizen, the juristic person, the jural person. Now, again, whoever you join with, the state in which you reside or the country or whatever, it already had statutes and laws before you got there. Remember that. Remember what it said there in the commentaries. And so that being the case, you can't come into the artificial realm as a human because they're not going to regard your natural law rights. You remember we just read that. William Blackstone put it out there for us. Now we know. Because the state, the country, whatever, already had statutes and laws before you even joined. Okay, it was already established, the founders, whatever. And that's why your natural law rights are not considered there. That's why you go into court and try to convey your constitutional rights, in the face of the laws of that state. And they tell you that doesn't apply here. You can't do that here. It doesn't work like that. All right. The Constitution is to keep the government at bay from depriving you of those natural inherent rights that humans are afforded. That is true. But guess what? You went and joined yourself as a citizen, a juristic person, right? And contracted through a social compact with that state. The federal courts and what have you, they can't interfere in that, because remember, each of the states, those artificial persons, right, are sovereign. So they can't interfere in that. In fact, the federal courts will have made it known we are an apolitical branch of government. That means we don't get involved in political affairs of the states. They don't. That's the way it works. Now, so let's briefly just mention remedy and talk a little bit about remedy now that we see this. So you're wearing a mask. Everybody's wearing a mask. We know what the problem is now because William Blackstone has told us. The states were created and prescribed statutes and laws before you even got there. Therefore, they don't have to consider your natural law rights. All they have to do, I'll say it like this, what they do have to do, and the reason for the federal Constitution, what they do, they can't per se willfully deprive you of your human needs and constitutionally protected rights. They can't do that, but they can conduct their government. They have what's known as a compelling state interest. They can conduct their governments. All right. They can't take away from the constitutional protections. They have to recognize those. They even incorporate them into their state constitutions, right? So there's basic and fundamental laws that they must have, but they can add. They just can't take away from. You picking up what I'm putting down? They can add laws, but they can't take away from the basic and fundamental constitutionally protected rights, okay? I hope that makes sense. Okay. But I lost my train of thought. But the important thing to remember is that, we're going to talk remedy. Okay. Little remedy. And then I'm going to get off of here in short order here, because I do have to do one more day of work. One more day, and I have a funeral tomorrow after work. Work, I tell you, work. Let's talk a little bit of remedy. So how did the big wigs win? How did they play this game and win? I can't give away all the sauce. You're going to have to join our class, but I'll tantalize you a little bit. I'll give you a little taste, a little piece. All right. So what would be remedy in this scenario, in this situation? Okay. If all is commerce and trade, everything is a play, the world is a stage. The artificial, again, is evolving as our title, Death of the Natural and Artificial Evolution. It's getting bigger and bigger. It's huge, and it's getting way bigger. And thanks to the assistance of the legal order, the American jurisprudence, the practitioners, they're swallowing up everything, aren't they? Oh yes, they're swallowing up everything because they know the game. They know the game. And so they know how to write contracts. They know how to get you to sign them, right? And then they know how to put you under threat and coercion and duress. Bend the law, but don't break it. They're slick with it. Legal practitioners. So, and they always sit at the top, of course, right? Because they know the rules to the game. But here we go. So let's talk remedy. So since everything is artificial, okay, what we need, how should I put this without giving all the sauce away? What we need is not to necessarily run away from the game, right? We want to seat at the table. Why do we want to seat at the table? Because we can harvest from the jural society. We can take the fiat currency, we can extract it, we can convert it into real tangible wealth. You can. You can. All right. And there's a way to do it. And they afford you these entities, corporations, trusts is a big one, right? So, okay, so your trusts, okay, your corporations. Why? Because what does a corporation afford you? Let's just start with that one. A corporation is a legal a separate entity. Hopefully I spelled that right. A separate entity, meaning it has its own, it takes on its own existence. Okay, in the eyes of the law, it takes on its own existence, independent of you. Okay, so you might start the corporation, but the corporation has its own protections under the 14th Amendment. It can sue and be sued in its own name. Okay, it has its own legal name, just like you have a legal name, right? Okay, so the benefit of that is if somebody goes after that, it does not follow through and hit you. Okay, it insulates you. So you're like, here, and then the corporation, let's say, is a vessel that you're inside of per se. Okay, and so you're not getting affected if things are buffeting against it, right? You're protected inside or insulated from it. I don't know if that's the best, but I'm just giving you some of the remedies. So a trust is another. Why? This one's famous for Rockefeller saying, I think he brought the first trust here in 1882, John D. Rockefeller, 1882, known as Standard Oil Company. And so why is this remedy? Because essentially he's quoted as saying, own nothing, control everything. Okay. And a trust has at least three capacities. The settler, the trustee, I'm going to abbreviation for trustee is TTEE. And then you have the beneficiaries, the bennies, beneficiaries. Okay. And so each of these are separate and distinct. All right. And so the trust owns the assets. The trustee is the manager of those assets. And of course, the beneficiaries have the equitable title to the property, the trust res or property, and the settler is the one that created the trust. Okay. So we'll get more into that as we get into remedy. I look forward to educating to help people get theirs set up properly and in accordance with law, not just, ideas. But so this is one form of remedy because, as Rockefeller says, you want to control it. You don't necessarily want to own it because all liability lies with the owner of the property. In other words, for example, if you were working at McDonald's, okay, as an employee, you're working behind the cash register, and 5 IRS agents come in there and say, McDonald's, you're delinquent in your taxes. And the 5 agents walk up to the cash register and look in your face. What are you going to say? You're going to say, I don't own this place. I just work here. I'm just a cashier. That's what the trustee would be, the equivalent. The trustee just works for the trust. He or she doesn't own anything in the trust, okay? And so he or she can't be held liable is the point. So this may be a position that you might want to be when you set up your trust. You might want to be the trustee. You're just the manager. I just work here. I don't own it. You see? So the trust owns it. But we'll talk more on that. I'm just hitting some things. Okay, so we're talking a little bit of remedy. Trust, corporations, these are all entities that can be used, that the law recognizes, legally recognizes, and it can protect your assets. It can reduce your tax liabilities and a whole host of other things. And we'll talk more about that. If you're interested in that, you can hit us up at that knowledgewell4u@gmail.com here for consultations. Also, we'll be starting up some courses and things so that we can get the remedy. Now, okay, so we know we're wearing a mask. These are all masks too. They're all legal masks, right? They're all masks that you have to wear in order to participate in the legal order, okay? You have to have them to participate in the legal order. The legal order cannot see you as a human. It does not even recognize you. Let me prove that to you. I think I've done it before. I'll prove it to you again. One moment. Let's see. Hold on real quick. Where'd you go? Hold on. Be right with you. I don't know. My camera's acting really weird tonight. Hold on. No, perfect. You're back. I don't know what's going on with that. If you recall and remember, in the book Treatise on the Law of Private Corporations, okay, I think I read from here before. Okay, 1861. So in the footnote here, this kind of explains why the law, how the law sees corporations and individuals. Okay, give me one moment here. So it says one of the greatest distinctions. Make that out. Hopefully it's not too blurry. One of the greatest distinctions in contemplation of the law, talking about positive law, between partnerships and corporations, is that in the first, the law looks to the individuals of whom the partnership is composed and knows the partnership no otherwise than as being such a number of individuals. Meaning when the law looks upon a partnership, the partnership is 2 or more individuals that come together, right, to do business or whatever. It's saying that and knows the partnership no otherwise than as being such a number of individuals. It can only look to the individuals, is what it's saying in a partnership. Okay, partnership one, it might be a 50-50. So I'm 50% liable, and the other partner is 50% liable. And that's how the law is going to see us individually, because this is not a corporation. This is a partnership. So going on, while in the second, talking about the corporate company or the corporation, it sees only the creature of the charter, which is the body corporate. Remember, Blackstone says that the individuals in the corporation act as one. They have one will, and the law sees them as only one. Remember that? See, it's consistent right here. The law is only going to see the body corporate. Look, and knows not the individuals. Okay? So when it comes, this is important to know and understand, because, you want to know why, it seems like the states, the courts, the legal order are stepping all over your constitutional rights. Remember, you don't have your natural law rights. They don't have to consider those per se over the interest of the state. They don't have to. The state has its own laws, its own constitution. Remember, they can't take away from the basic rights of humans, but they can add other laws such as speed limits and seatbelt laws and all that kind of stuff. See, because they're going to claim that they have a what's known as a political interest, or a compelling state interest to protect their citizens. Okay, that's the way that game goes. But once again, the law, you must have a face, a persona, a mask in order to be recognized in law. We all have to wear capacities. We all have to do that, personas. Okay, without that, ain't nothing moving. They're not going to be considering your natural law rights and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to happen. Okay, and so again, talking remedy, you have to know how to move in the game. You have to know the ins and outs. You have to know the loopholes, as Trump, quoted as saying, how much do you pay in taxes? Well, I don't have to disclose all that. Well, why don't you have to disclose that, Trump? Aren't you the president? Well, I don't have to disclose that because I can act in multiple capacities. I can have multiple corporations, and those are independent entities per se, right? And I don't have to disclose all that information. There's all kinds of loopholes. I'm just saying. So there's no reason, my point, there's no reason to run from the system. It's just to learn how to play in the system. It's just like sitting down playing Monopoly with your brother or sister, right? Just knowing how to play the game. And so that's what we're looking to, aspiring and wanting to share with you, divulge with you, privately, consultation-wise, or whatever, if you're interested in that. I did want to say something else before we get off of here. When it comes to the persona, when it comes to working in the system, maybe I'll save that. I'll save that because we're already at 8:43 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, this just in. You see that? Oh, so we have a new T-shirt. The 777. How you like me now? Courtesy of Beauty Productions. Hot off the press, I assume. Yep, hot off the press.
Fresh, should still be warm.
Look at that. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. What's up? Y'all want to get this? Get that 777 shirt. Isn't that nice? Then we got the tree logo on the background. It's pretty slick. Yeah, so if you're interested in the T-shirt, let me know. Hit me up at theknowledgewell4you@gmail.com, and we'll get you hooked up with it. As far as all right. So yeah, we'll continue on Sunday. It was a little bit shaky tonight. Thank you for your patience and what have you. I know that Joseph, you said you had a question. Did you want to get that question in?
I'll take some questions for the next 10 or so minutes if you want, if you need. But Sunday we will be going in on the remedy. I think it's time for that. But we do want to make sure we offer to the private groups, the Patreon, whatever. So if you're interested in joining, if you're not already there, join us at the Patreon. Yeah, very comfortable. Ooh, I think I'll support this one tomorrow. That's nice. My numbers. Yeah, so make sure that you get with us. Hit us up at that knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. Because we want to connect with you. We do have a hierarchy system. We call it the hierarchy, where we teach you, how to use these entities that we mentioned up here. Everything is backed in law. We back everything by law. We don't want to do anything that is suspect, illegal, or any of that. So we assure you that anything that we do, we can definitely demonstrate for you and show you in the law that it is legal to do, or that it is legally protectable. All right. So again, if you're interested in that, it's time for us to start moving and making moves in this system. It's for us to do. BB Productions says, okay, the shirt hasn't dropped in the site yet, but send an email if you want to be part of the pre-order. Okay, there you go. To knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. You could also go to our Square site. I'll put that up in a moment. But yes, there are ways to move. Everything that we educate you on, we are doing or have done. Okay, that's for certain. And so, yeah, we're not looking to experiment on anybody. We're looking to educate properly. Okay. So looking for Joseph, did you have that question or statement you wanted to make? I don't know if you're still here. Oh, I am sleepy. Long 10-hour day at work. Anybody have a question? Anybody need clarity on anything? I would encourage you to read over that Avalon project, the William Blackstone's Avalon project, or the commentaries. I strongly suggest you read over that, as that is foundational. That's very foundational. All right. If nobody has any comments, then I will prepare to end. We will see you Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time right here at KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel. I thank you all for being here. Let's see here. Joseph Henson, thank you for being here. Wanda Noel, appreciate you for being here. Thank you. Terry Camp, of course. Thank you for being here. BB Productions. And who else we got? Joseph Smith, 123. Thank you for being here. My faithful followers. No, not followers. Family. How about that? So hopefully you were able to pick up something out of what we were saying today. I know it was a little bit jumbled, a little bit more laid back, but I wanted to follow through. I know, people want to know, people want to learn. It's tough because you don't want to divulge too much, but we will definitely put the sauce out there to the faithful. And we'll be back on Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. And now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Love you all. Have a great night. Get some rest. And we'll see you back here Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If not, before. Love you. Peace. Bye.